Hello Pub Goth transmission. On today's Instructable, I'm going to teach you a critical life skill, right? I'm going to teach you how you can roll, shall we say, a long cigarette of your preferred herbal blend whilst walking and on the move, right? Before, the situation comes, you check your bus, it's not for 16 minutes. What are you going to do? Or you're going to your mate's house, you get off the train, you realise that's a fucking 18-minute walk, right? What are you going to do? Or maybe you're just on a nice walk in nature and you think, I'd love if this could be optimised in some way, but you're thinking, I can't roll a joint with my preferred herbal blend because I need my rolling tray and I need my little pokey and I need my ergonomic joint rolling device. No, nonsense. I'm going to show you how just with a standard shark tooth grinder, some long papers and tips, and your chosen herbal blend. Today I will be doing this with coriander leaf. You can produce the whole shebang whilst on the move. So, step one, and this is a sort of optional step. Now, if you're somebody who likes to mix it with tobacco, I'm not going to judge you. Other people might, but I'm not going to judge you. So, if you do use tobacco, I recommend strongly, though some people consider this a cardinal sin, putting it directly in the grinder and grinding it directly with your chosen herbal blend. Now people say, but it dirties the grinder, you can't do that. Well, if you're already smoking it with baccy, that argument makes absolutely no sense. It makes sense if someone only smokes pure, don't put back in the grinder, and if you're using someone else's grinder, always ask first. But generally, if you're going to include tobacco, grind it with your chosen herbal blend. For today's demonstration, because I've not had any beers and I'm not out on the town, don't yet want any tobacco involved. So I'm going to go pure coriander leaf for now. So step one, take your chosen herbal blend. I've got a nice clean shark tooth grinder here. Big up Select Supermarket on that. Only cost me £2.50. You're going to put your chosen herbal blend in here. Now this one's already fairly ground, but if you have a more unground herbal blend, shall we say, the grinding step is very necessary. Step two, grind it together. And at this point, you want to separate the top jaw from the bottom jaw and tap down so it's all on the bottom jaw. The next step is you want to open this compartment. If you don't have a grinder with a compartment, it's not the end of the world, but it's better to have a compartment. Put the top jaw in the lid, turn it over and tap it down. Then put the grinder back together. There might be a few specks on the lid. That goes in here. Now, notice your herbal blend is now fully prepared and sealed within the top compartment. Put that back in your pocket. That will come out later. Step two, right, you might have separate tips. You might be a barbarian who rips it off the Rizzler packet. I'm a civilized human. I just use the ones with the tips. Oh my goodness. Pick the roach paper back off the floor. Now I like to do the classic concertina. You go fold, 1, 2, and 3. You're making an M or a W depending on your point of view. Then what I do is I roll it, fold it all the way up, right? Then what I'm doing, and this is, let's get this, I'm squashing it while sort of rolling it at the same time, right? Kind of squeezing, and then I'm going back the other way, and back and forth until it rolls over nicely, right? Now, I know what you're gonna say here. Wow, that's not gonna smoke, that's too tight. I know. That's why the next part is that you unravel it, and then you roll it back, and there you have a perfect roach. Now, if you want it smaller, because you're rolling a smaller herbal blend, then you just tighten it again. If you're rolling a larger one, you just widen it back out again and roll it to your preferred thickness. If you're rolling an extra large, you're going to want to repeat the step, but with 2 papers on top of each other. Sorry, 2 roaches on top of each other. Step 3, and this is where, the sphincter gets a bit clenched. Right, this is where the wind will just manifest at precisely this stage, always. In fact, if you're ever on a ship and you're on a sailboat in the middle of the sea and there's no wind and you're stranded, all you need to do is try and do these steps, and at this stage, the wind will magically appear. It's just simply how nature functions. So notice, I grip, the roach is inside, the sticky side is on the right side, and I'm gripping it with these 2 fingers. You need to get very comfortable with this position. This is critical. This is why you don't need any kind of tray. Whilst holding it, I'm going to take our herbal blend back. This is the difficult part. I've removed the lid. Now, whilst walking, I'm going to carefully tip my herbal blend. You see that? See, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Into here. Now you're going to distribute with your finger. You're going to distribute along the length. Then you're going to grab it like this. Now you have it, right? Once you're in the stage, you've got it in the pocket. You're there, right? Right? And you're going to start to roll. Then what you're going to do, so notice this. I pull this back. And I've got it. I'm done. We're done. This is when you've got to pray that the sticky side's on the right side. In this case, it is, right? We're on the home straight. Lick it. Stick it. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Or so you might think. No. There's 2 more steps. Taking out my phone or any hard surface to tap it down. Now, if you've got it really unevenly, you want to do this, right? My blend is already pretty even, but this is what you do to spread it back out, space it back out, right? In case you've got, voids or whatever in there, right? Once you've done that, then you tap it back down. That lets it all settle. Do not poke it from the end at this stage, because all it will do is compress the end and leave the gaps. It's not going to work. The only reason that you're tapping down is to create a flat end so that it lights evenly and doesn't burn down the side. So at this stage, a lot of people like to use clipper lighters because they have the pokey downy thing inside. However, I have found one of the very few advantages of being visually impaired. Take the glasses, poke them down, and voila. Now, one additional step that I sometimes add, just to absolutely avoid that stage where it kind of burns down the side, is I just do this. And some people might find this a bit gross, but I'm just going to add a little salival ring. That's going to ensure that it burns down the weed and not around the paper. So now that we've done that, we get to enjoy our herbal blend. Oh fuck, it's burned down the side. I'll throw up. Okay, there's a bit of a paper hang on it, but that generally, that, my friends, is how it's done. And you know what? I thought that this was going to be a comedic bit and the coriander leaf was going to be absolutely disgusting. It's actually quite nice. If I could actually smoke this, I mean, it doesn't do anything, but it's actually pretty smokable. Anyway, thank you very much. This was how to roll a long cigarette of herbal blend on the move. And now you know, you never need a rolling tray. You don't need a pokey down or an ergonomic rolling mat. All you need is your 2 hands, a good grinder, and some papers and a roach, and you're sorted.